Welcome to the Rubio Method. Venture into the unfiltered world of Chris Rubio. The Rubio Method delivers an unapologetically edgy take on the often overlooked world of men's mental health. Rubio, a master communicator, wields a potent knack for no BS enlightenment. Step into this no-nonsense arena, where men are challenged to evolve and confront the man staring back at them from the mirror.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Chuck and Brett. Great job out there. Let's keep it going. Welcome to episode 66. Can you believe it? That's episode 66 of the Rubio Method. My name is Chris Rubio. If you are on X, Twitter, or Twitter and X are the same thing now. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Tell everyone that you're watching us. If you want to comment throughout the show, it's going to get a little spicy, as AC says. It's going to be a little cringy. There's going to be one particular section when we're talking about Canadian waxer that Jenna even kind of threw up in her mouth a little bit. So it's going to be a good one. We're going to have a fun time. Well, here's what we're going to talk about. As you guys know, on Thursday, there's a big debate coming up between El Trumpo and Joey B. I'm going to break it all down. We have a Canadian court shows a lot of, let's say, guts. The inmates are running the asylum in San Francisco, and it's just wild. There's a German woman in trouble for being rude to a rapist. Like literally a convicted rapist. Everyone knows the rapist. She's too rude to him, so she gets in trouble. We'll talk about that. Snopes, that political fact-checking little website, after 7 years finally got something right that everyone knew was completely obvious. A mobster forgot to look both ways, and it is a wild, wild story. Katie Ledecky, that world-class swimmer, she's really fast. I'm talking really fast, and I'm going to show you a video that is going to just blow your mind. And finally, we're going to say that climate change people have officially lost their minds. All of that and much, much more on today's episode 66 of the Rubio Method. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching the Rubio Method.
Let's get going, gang!
Our dedicated staff is ready to work for you. Artbeat specializes in custom apparel. Call us or order online. Free shipping nationwide. Custom printed shirts are our specialty, and we make sure you get exactly what you want. Bring in your own design or let our team create one for you. Promote your business, event, or club with pens, caps, bottles, mugs, and more.
Creating cool since 1985.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Sub 60 Ed. Sub 60 Ed is the producer of Decades. Decades is going to be on tonight, pretty much right after this show at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. It's a great show where we've got guys in their 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, all arguing on certain topics. Could be who's your favorite superhero. Could be what do you think about El Trumpo and Joey B debating. Okay, that's what I'm going to be talking about. So catch that tonight at 6:30. It's on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, all that good stuff. Nana Mona, hello, Rubio. How are you doing, Nana Mona? Are you fired up right now? You should be. Craig Hanna, my man, showtime. Yes, it is showtime. We're going to have a good showtime tonight. All right. So as you guys know, on Thursday, June 27th, Joey B and El Trumpo have a big debate coming up. It's the first one. A lot of people are saying there's not going to be a second one because no matter whatever happens to Joey B on this one, that he's either does really, really well, which I don't know. I kind of hope so because I want to see a good debate, or he just bombs. But here's the thing. Okay. Joey B and El Trumpo. El Trumpo's been in politics for what, 8 years? Joey B has been in politics for 50 years. 50 years. So would you think he's done a couple debates in his time? I'm willing to bet, Jenna, you can fact check this. He's got to have done 300 debates at this point in his life. He's been in politics for 50 years, probably done 300 debates. He's been at Camp David, a little vacation house for the White House. He's been at Camp David for 7 days prepping for this debate. 7 days. What the hell are they prepping for? Now, there's tons of rumors that one of them is that they're just prepping him because at the debate, there's no sitting. So he's going to have to stand for 90 minutes. And they're like training him. Hey, man, we know you're 84 years old or 83. You got to be able to stand for 90 minutes because there's only going to be 2 commercials. There's only going to be 2 commercials that you're going to have to learn to stand for, let's say, 45 minutes, obviously, or a little bit less than that. I don't do math. That's one big thing. So another big rumor is that he's getting his cocktails all lined up because if you notice, Joey being a normal talk, he just kind of mumbles. He does the old man dementia thing, which he's old, I get it. But then at the State of the Union, holy hell was he fired up. I mean, I don't know what he was on, but the cocktail must have been fantastic because he was raging. His eyes were like this. You could see him yelling and all that. Jenna says she can't find the info. Learning how to stand. No, it's true, Jenna. I swear to God. But it's going to be based in Atlanta, Georgia. Why in Atlanta, Georgia? Because that's where CNN headquarters are. They had to go back and forth on who was going to moderate it and all that. And El Trumpo just wanted to get out there and debate. And honestly, El Trumpo, I think, has more room to lose on this because everyone understands that he's basically in the lead now. That's what all the polls say. I don't know if those are true or not, but it's basically, I don't know what's going to happen. I think Joey B has the most to win. I think Joey B will pass out 30 minutes or look for an invisible chair, Annam says. It wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, nothing would surprise me at this one. If he came out yelling, if he came out just and did his Joey B freeze, and that would not surprise me one bit. I don't know what to expect. I'm going to be on a plane heading to Florida when it's on, so I'm hoping they have that live TV so I can sit there and kind of enjoy it. I mean, maybe bring some popcorn or something like that. So it's going to be hosted by CNN's Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. Now, we've already had some issues with Trump's press secretary going and getting some interviews. Jenna, do you have clip 1 ready for me?
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently,
we're going to stop this interview if you're going to keep
President
attacking my
Trump
colleagues.
Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you
I'm
continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much.
Okay, so that's El Trumpo's press secretary. And she's just going, hey, obviously we understand that we're going to go under fire. We got Jake Tapper, who has called El Trumpo Hitler before. Well, and I'll show you videos of that. But what was with the lady's voice that wouldn't interview her? Did she have like a was it Peter Brady or Bobby Brady moment where like she went through puberty right there? Do girls do that, Jenna? Do girls have their voice change, or is that just dudes? Because her voice went really high one point, and you could tell she was nervous. What do you mean she can't talk about your colleague? What are you talking about? You brought her on because you knew she was going to talk about El Trumpo and the debates. You didn't think she was going to talk about Jake Tapper and his co-host, Jake Tapper's co-host. Oh, it does. Jenna says chicks get voices like that too. I didn't know that. Jenna, can you have clip 9 ready for me? So Jake Tapper has issues where he's going off, and not 9 yet, Jenna. Let's go to number 2 first. Number 2, I'm sorry about that. Jake Tapper's compared him to Hitler several times. Jenna, clip 2.
Over the weekend, referred to immigrants from South America, Africa, and Asia. He did not mention Europe. South America, Africa, and Asia as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, which it's not hyperbole. That does very directly echo Adolf Hitler's language before World War II. To open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf, you would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. There's really no other way to say it. Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly.
So because he used the word poison, he's Hitler? Needless to say, that's kind of a reach. And also, we've got Dana Bash. She's the co-host. She's also part of CNN, which El Trumpo signed up for this. Her husband was one of the 51 intelligence officers that lied about Hunter's laptop. So her husband is one of the 51 intelligence officers who said it was, no, this Hunter laptop's not real, as it's already been proven real. I said it, I think last week on the show or 2 weeks ago. And it's Russian disinformation. So she's obviously tampered, and she's gone off on El Trumpo as well. Can you have clip number 9 for me? I think this might be Jake
Every
again.
time he comes on stage or they turn to him, I'm like, Joe, can you get it out? Let's get the words out, Joe. You kind of feel bad for him.
How do you think it makes little kids with stutters feel when they see you make a comment like that?
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have
to watch somebody on stage search for
that's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter.
Yeah,
I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you, your father-in-law from afar. I'm sure it offends you. You don't have any standing to say.
I'm not diagnosing him. What I'm saying, Jake,
you just talked
is
about
that
a cognitive decline.
that Joe Biden is
I have one last
struggling
question for you, Laura. You can't
times on stage, and it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay.
That is.
So that's obviously Laura Trump. That's El Trumpo's daughter-in-law. And I love when everyone always brings up, why would you make fun of this dude with a stutter? I've known dudes with stutters. I had a next door neighbor, great friend of mine, had a huge stutter. I mean, we're talking like he couldn't get 10 words out in an hour stutter. Like he would freeze the room stutter. And we were fine with him. Here's the thing. If Joey B's has this big bad stutter, how come we've only noticed it the last, say, 4 years? Have you ever seen footage of him when he was a vice president stuttering? No. How about when he was a senator for 718 years? Any stuttering there? No. When he was in, talking to Congress and all that, doing many, many interviews, any stutter there? No. So when did this stutter happen? And if he's a lifelong stutterer, how come there's literally no film of this? You've got film all over the place on politicians, and Joey B's the first one that has this really bad stutter that you can't make fun of, but it's non-existent for the first 80 years of his life. Tell me I'm wrong here. I don't get it. Oh, email question. Remember, you can email me, rubio@therubiomethod.com anytime you want, any question you want. Rubio, what are your thoughts on conspiracies? Do you believe in them? Ooh, I love a good conspiracy. I've got several. Do I believe in them? I like to do a lot of research. After the last, say 4 or 5 years, I feel like conspiracy just become predictions, because you always say you talk about the Rona, you can talk about this, you can talk about that, and just wait 6 months, and then, that's true. Okay. You got to wear the mask. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, we just made up the mask. 6 foot distancing. We just made that up. So I love a good conspiracy theory. I love to talk to people about them, especially if they believe in them or don't believe in them. Man on the moon, LOL. Yeah. That's a good one. You can go down that hole. New rules for the debate are 2 commercials. Like I said, no opening statement. I don't see any mind in that one. I don't care. No live audience. This obviously hurts El Trumpo because he plays to the crowd. So that hurts him. The mics get muted when you're not talking. This hurts El Trumpo big time because, he just likes to keep going like a damn junkyard dog. And Joey B's going to go off on some sort of tangent, and El Trumpo's going to want to, shoot back. But when Joey B's talking, El Trumpo's mic is muted. Now, I don't know how they're going to stop him from just yelling or doing something like that, but that obviously helps Joey B out a lot. And that was a good rule by him and his party. Here was a weird one. You got to choose who goes first or second. Whoever chooses that one gets it, but then they don't get to choose the podium. Okay, you're thinking, who the hell cares about a podium? Joey B chose the podium instead of going first or second. Wouldn't you want to go second in a debate at all times? You'd want to hear this dude, and then you listen to argue with him, and then you beat him. But no, Joey B wanted the podium. Now, why does he have a better side that I'm missing? I don't understand why a dude. I mean, I guess I have a better side, but one of my ears is messed up at the top, I think. So I don't know what he wants with the podium. I don't get it. And the fact that he's been at Camp David for 7 days is really, really bizarre to me. Let's move on to, there are winners and losers in life. This is insane. So a Canadian court in Ontario, Jenna, what the hell are your people doing? A Canadian court in Ontario has ordered a woman's spa. This is a woman's spa to pay this transgender dude $35,000. Okay. Jenna says, get me out of here. Okay. Why does this woman's spa have to pay this transgender dude $35,000? Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate that. Because he goes in there to get his legs waxed. And they're like, yeah, we can do legs. That's no problem. And then he finally says, I'd like you to wax my junk too. And they're, what do you mean, dude? Or ma'am, or whoever you are today? Yeah, I'd like my testicles waxed. They said, hey man, number one, we don't have the proper wax. That's got to be some sort of sensitive wax. And number two, we don't have the person here to do that because we're a woman's spa. We're working on women's bodies. So we've got the armpits, the legs, other, let's say, pubic regions. But the tea bag, I don't think they've got the facilities to do that. And so he sued. And this has been in case going for 6 years. The court said they violated the customer's human rights. This is a human right. This is a right that I don't want. I'm not sure any dudes I know want this. You can keep all the wax. What's happening here? And why would the Canadian court even say that? What does having your testicles waxed have to do with human rights? I think human rights would be like breathing. Okay. I don't really want to tell you what Jenna just wrote. But I'll just say it wasn't good. Let's move on to the next one. Saturday night in San Francisco. All hell is breaking loose in Oakland and San Francisco. They're kind of right next to each other if you're not from that area in Northern California. California has become almost like Mad Max, where people are just going off in certain areas. Like, don't get me wrong, you have your great areas in Orange County and San Diego and even parts of Northern California if you get into like Napa. But if you go to San Francisco, it's not a great place. I was just there probably about 10 years ago. And I remember walking around and telling my wife, you know what, soak it in, because this is the last time we're going here, because it was like you had to walk over the hobos. They had literally signs in their cars if they were parked on the street, laminated signs says, there's nothing in the car, there's no stereo, please don't break the windows, because people are just breaking windows nonstop. I remember stepping over like human crap, not just dog crap, human crap. They had an app, they made an app in San Francisco, this is no joke, where you could locate where human feces was. It blew up the second day because there were so many reportings of human crap. So that you got the gist of what I'm talking about with San Francisco and Oakland. Well, the animals decided we're going to shut down the Bay Bridge. This is not a small bridge. Okay, this is not a small bridge. They proceed to do burnouts. They proceed to do fireworks. They proceed to just literally just take over the bridge. So they closed the bridge. Jenna, do you have clip 3 ready for me? Go ahead. Okay, for those that are just listening on Spotify and iTunes, you had fireworks that looked like 4th of July at Macy's fireworks display in New York. And so we're not talking like little bottle rockets or Roman candles or little snap thingies or little caterpillars or roaches or whatever that you light and they're black chalk. We're talking like big Dodger Stadium fireworks, like big boomers, massive ones that are just lighting off on the bridge. And then there's so many people on there, they've closed it. And then you got guys just doing burnouts right there as everyone watches, which is really safe, really smart move to do. Yeah, insanity. Here's the best part, okay? I don't want a wiener anywhere near me having a massage. That belongs in a hot dog bun. Nana Mona coming in hot. And I don't disagree with you, Nana Mona. 0 arrests were made in San Francisco that night. 0. I just don't understand. 0 arrests. They're on a bridge. All you have to do is literally cops on one side, cops on the other. There you go. You want to leave the bridge? 2 options, or actually 3. You can go to the left, you can go to the right, or you can jump in the water. You choose. If you go to the left or the right, you're arrested. They didn't arrest 1 person at all. Not one. California looks like a third world country right now. Damon Johnson. What's up, Damon? How are you doing? That's enough out of you too. But yeah, it does. Certain parts of it do. I mean, that is just insane. If you give people the right to do with whatever they want with no consequences, they're never going to stop. They're just going to get worse. All these kids that we're seeing now, these are the same kids you saw in the grocery store. Mommy, I want a toy. Mommy, I want a toy. And instead of just beating that kid's ass right there, they just bought him the toy and the kid learned, hey, I got no consequences. I can do whatever I want. Or you've seen the little kid at a restaurant where he kind of slaps the mom or the dad when they don't get what they want. That's these kids right now. And there's no parent. The cops need to be the parent and just say, hey, you leave here, or jump in the water. You choose, but you're going to get arrested. And throw them under the jail. I don't care. The meaner, the better, because then you know what? They won't do it again. And the people that are watching won't do it again as well. Because right now, everyone's looking and going, well, why don't we just do that? I feel like doing some burnouts on a bridge. I feel like lighting out some Roman candles the size of, whatever. I just don't get it. I will tell you, though, what you are going to get, we're going to get a great story. Actually, not a great story as in fantastic, a great story as in pathetic, about a German woman coming up right after these messages. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method. Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Randy and Chevy. Don't forget The Ride with Randy and Chevy is on tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific time. 10 p.m. Pacific time. I have a feeling they're going to go off on the Oilers game last night. I was trying to text at least one of them, but they weren't responding too much because they were too focused. They've got their little superstitions, and I'm all into it. But they're a great show. It's very entertaining. I will be watching along with you. I'll be commenting. They do a great job of responding and all that. It's a good, fun show. Welcome back to episode 66 of the Rubio Method. My name is Chris Rubio. Remember, if you are liking or if you're watching on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, or Facebook, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Click that subscribe button and let everyone know what you're doing. Rubio, Florida finally won the Stanley Cup. Do you watch it? Are you happy about it? Jenna, don't get mad. I'm happy that an American team won. I'm upset that McJesus did not win. I love the McDavid dude. I've seen him play live in Vegas, and I was watching last night. He just looked gassed. They put the clamps on him. That guy is so impressive. You know, I've always said it several times that I think hockey players are the most impressive athletes possible. I think they're massive, they're strong, they're tough. They are like gazelles, ballerinas. If you ever watch a hockey game in person, you will immediately become a fan. It's unbelievable how well they move. They are just unbelievable to me. All right, so let's talk about accepting and embracing it. And I don't want to accept and embrace this one because I think it's so pathetic. So if you don't know, Europe has started to become, well, it's been about 10 years now, become very politically correct. They started to allow a lot of migrants in. They wanted to mix up their cultures, do this, do that. Okay, Jenna can tell you in Canada and all that. Obviously, Canada's North America, not Europe, but they went along the same lines. Okay, now, I've always said, if you want to bring in other people, that's fine, but you almost want them to take over your culture and absorb your culture instead of bringing 97 other cultures in. Because if you bring in 97 other cultures, at some point, someone's going to take the lead. And if you're coming into Germany, the German culture should take the lead. I know Germans. They're very, very proud people. Germans love Germany. And it's one of those things that if you get too many people coming into your own home, okay, who do you invite into your own home? People that you know, people that you trust, people that you like, people that you want to associate with. You can't just have every random person coming in. But guy might be a mechanic and he works with his hands all day and he gets oil everywhere. Say you don't like the smell of oil, but you still let him in. There's nothing you can do about it. Say you bring someone else who's a pig farmer and he smells like pig shit all day long. There's nothing you can do about it because you invited him in. And so that's what's happening over here. But the government officials in these European countries are so woke, they're so politically woke that you're not allowed to do anything negative to these migrants, or you're considered quote unquote racist. Shockingly enough, I know. Trust me, I get called racist literally every single day on TikTok and YouTube pretty much. So I know what it's like. And it's ironic because I'm darker than everyone that's commenting. So a German woman was sentenced to prison after insulting a migrant who participated in horrific gang rape of a 14-year-old girl. So this 14-year-old girl is going around this area that became very popular during COVID. The kids would go out at night, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of migrants came over and started to rape her. You know, you're thinking, okay, just like one migrant, blah, blah. 9 migrants, okay, 9. And where are they from? None were Germans. Polish, Egyptian, Libyan, Kuwaiti, Iranian, Armenian, Afghan, Syrian, and Montenegrin. They were raping this poor girl so long that they were videotaping it and even texting their buddies to say, hey, come on down here. We got this German girl here. Come on down. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And they're literally sending text messages and Snapchats and all that stuff. Out of the 9, 8 got no punishment. None at all. Not one bit of punishment. And there's literally 8 bits of DNA inside of her. So this was a clear-cut case, and they had videos of them bragging about it and things like that. So this is a no-brainer. 8 of the 9 got no time. The 9th got 2 years and 9 months for the only one, and he was the only one that got convicted. This woman, she's not part of the case. She was just looking through it on Snapchat. They found out one of the migrants' names, the one that got convicted. She says, I can't believe you did this. Text him. She's got some big cojones. Maybe she should go to the Canadian waxer. She called him, or she Snapchatted somehow, or got his number through Snapchat. And here's what she told him. You are a dishonorable racist pig, rapist pig. Okay, dishonorable rapist pig. That's a pretty good put down. You're a disgusting miscarriage. That's a solid put down. That's very rude. And aren't you ashamed when you look in the mirror? So she said those 3 things. Aren't you ashamed when you look in the mirror? You're a disgusting miscarriage and a dishonorable rapist pig. I only say 2 out of the 3 of those were actually good. The one ashamed when you look in the mirror is stupid. I think Nick Umble and I should go on a hunting trip to Europe. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. So what happened to this woman? She got a weekend in jail. So this woman got a weekend in jail, and you're thinking, well, Ruby, that's not a lot. She shouldn't have got anything. She should have got anything. And the fact that she got more time than the actual rapist is absolutely insane to me. Like, how is that even possible? That someone commenting, because this dude literally sent the text message to the cops and said, hey, yeah, I'm this convicted rapist. Yeah, that 14-year-old girl. Yeah, that was me. That was my work. But this lady's being mean to me, and I want to report a crime. The cops went after her. I don't even understand, Jenna, what your political people are doing. I know that's not your political people, but you guys lean that way as well. What is happening there? This country has gone to crap. Yeah, Nanamona, that's not our country, but you're Canada. Yeah, I read stories about you guys, and it just doesn't make sense to me at all. So I don't understand how that is even allowed. It just drives me insane. Let's go to Working Hard Is Not Enough. This show is flying. I'm having a good time. It took 7 years, 7 long years. But Snopes is that political fact-checking website where they put, hey, did Rubio say this? Yes, no, fact check says no, he did not. Okay. It took them 7 years to finally admit that El Trumpo, this is going to hurt some of you who may still think this is true, he did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. Okay. Now you're going to think, what? No, I know he did. I've seen the video. You're right. You have seen the video. Okay. You saw an edited video. Now this video clip 4, it's a little bit longer. But I'm going to let Jenna play it because you're going to see where they cut the tape and where everyone ran with it. I think the Pfizer vaccine made some folks nuts. So yeah, no kidding. That's a good one, Hannah. I like that. So I want you to listen to the entire clip, and it's a little bit longer. It's about 1 minute and 30 seconds, but it's well worth it because I want you to hear the whole clip. Go ahead, Jenna.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. No, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now, we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white.
Okay, so what you guys all saw, well, not all of you guys, because you guys, I bet, are a little bit more informed. You saw where there's very fine people on both sides. And Joey B even campaigned on that. That was his opening statement of why he was running for office. You look it up. His front statement when he ran for office is, I had to run for office in 2020 because of the very fine people comment that El Trumpo made about Charlottesville. You cannot call neo-Nazis very fine people. And he literally stated that's what he was running on. I'm running because of this statement. So he was running on an absolute lie. It would be no different than I said, I hate Canadian people that kill dogs. And then you would freeze and say, Rubio just said he hates Canadian people. Oh my God, tell all the Canadians out there that Rubio hates Canadian people. No, I said that I hate Canadian people that kill dogs. And this hoax has been going for 7 years. And everyone on one side has been going, hey man, that's not what he said. Just let the tape keep playing. Because yes, he does says they're very fine people. Then he says, not these idiots, these morons, these are bad people. The white supremacists, they should be condemned, blah, blah, blah. It's very clear. I mean, he makes it very, very clear. Was it worded the best way possible? No, but it's El Trumpo. The guy's got permanent diarrhea of the mouth. He just keeps talking and talking and talking. Eventually gets to the buoy that he has set out there. But this was countless times was paraded on mainstream media. Joey B used it. It was over and over and over. So finally Snopes has put out and said, yeah, so El Trumpo did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. So it took you 7 years, but you had Joey B running on it. You probably still have, I'd say at least half the country still thinking that it is true. I mean, I know I've tried to tell several people, that's not what he said, right? And they're like, no. And then you can show the video there. Oh, Or no, that's a doctored video. No. The one you saw was doctored. The one you saw was cut. So am I happy that they finally woke up? Yeah. Am I a little pissed that it took this long? Yeah. All right. Let's get to a kind of a funny story that's kind of sad. There's this mobster. His name is Tony Cakes. You got to love mobster names, number one. Jenna, what would my mobster name be? It'd be good, like the Big Brown, something like that. The Big Bald Brown. Rubio, probably just Rubio. Yeah, that's probably it. So this guy named Tony Cakes. Why is his name Tony Cakes? Because he was a wholesale cake member, ran a wholesale cake business. So he runs this whole cake business. That's kind of hard to say, wholesale cake business. But he's also a loan shark for this very powerful family called the Genovese family. It's a great Italian name. I love it. This guy lives out in New York. He does his loan shark stuff. Basically, you don't pay him. Tony Cakes, he shoves a cake up your whatever, and it's probably got a bomb in it. Who knows what? He cuts off some fingers so you can't eat some cake. He's doing everything fantastic that a mobster would do. I've seen all the great mobster movies. They're wonderful. This guy, he's old. He's in his late 70s, early 80s. He's decided he's going to take a stroll around New York. He's crossing the street, and then all of a sudden, this city driver, just this, not a trash truck. It looks like one of those trucks that has a boom light. Okay. Don't see him. And he doesn't have his head on a swivel. And even the cop said after, he spent his whole life looking over his shoulder, but he forgot to look both ways before crossing the street. I'm going to have Jenna play this twice because I want you just to watch it first on your own. And then I'm going to come back and kind of narrate. Or Jenna, can I narrate it as well while it's going? Because this one doesn't have sound, does it? I think if it doesn't have sound, I'll just keep talking. If you can hear me, it's good. If you can't hear me, just pretend I'm pantomiming, and then we'll do it again where you can hear me. All right, so Jenna, you have clip 5 ready for me? Okay, so for those that were listening on Spotify and iTunes, this dude's crossing the street, and he's crossing the street, and this truck just kind of makes a right, but they don't see him. He gets taken out by it, and I don't know exactly what happens if like one of the crane gets him or his head goes under the tire, but it runs him over, and then all of a sudden they pan to a different thing. He's lying on the ground dead right there at the intersection. Then they pan to the right. His head is 40 yards up. He got decapitated by the damn truck. That would not be a good way to go. Well, would it be a good way to go? Jenna, you think he would feel that? I don't know. That would be really, really bad. It's one of those things. I mean, he's crossing the street. Boom. He gets hit. They run him over. And then all of a sudden, they're dragging. Show to the other clip. That little white dot you see, that's the dude's head. That's his head, man. How pissed if you would be if you're going up to heaven or wherever you think you're going, and you get there and you're like, well, hey, how did I die? I was a mobster. Was it like a cool way? Did I go out in like a gunfire explosion where there's like a shootout of the OK Corral? What's going on? That's more Western, but you get my point. No, man, you were crossing the street and a water truck hit you and ripped your head off. What? So this dude did years and years of wild crime, mob, true stories, all that stuff, and he gets taken out by a Department of Energy truck or something like that. That is awesome. Awesome. I don't even know why I want to say awesome, but I just think it's entertaining. The big banana. Yeah, not a motor. That's pretty nice. That's a good one. Very, very good. On that note, we're flying through. We got one more segment left. It's going to be a quick one. We got confidence is the key coming back. We're going to talk about swimming. And we're going to talk about climate change. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method.
Hello, we are the MD and Chef team. I'm nutritional chef Michael, joined by my beautiful wife, Dr. Isabel, medical doctor and suicide survivor.
Yes, I was dropped into the world of mental illness back in 2013, and by the grace of God, I survived suicide. But here's what I learned. We don't have a mental illness issue. That's the downstream event. We're focusing downstream. We should be focusing upstream on our brain health and all the things that we can be doing to support our brain health. Because you see, it's like mopping up the floor when the sink is overflowing instead of turning off the faucet. So come and join us on the MD and Chef Team show.
Come join us.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, AC of AC Sports Live. That's tonight at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. So right before the ride with Chevy and Nasty. AC does a very interactive show. It's on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, or X, excuse me. I keep making that mistake. Very interactive. He talks about today's current sports topics, and he does a great great job on it. It's very, very cool. He's got always some good background music, and he does an excellent job of interacting with the audience. That's at 9 o'clock. And don't forget, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Wednesday, you got the Doc and Chef Show, MD and Chef Show. They are the cutest couple. They are fantastic. I've said it 50 times. I'll say it another 50 times. If you can watch their show and honestly watch it, not just like drive around, watch the show and not learn something or smile, you got problems. You got severe problems in your life. Maybe your Tony Cakes in your head just got ripped off. I don't know. Welcome back to episode 66 of the Rubio Method. We're moving right along here, Jenna. It's going to be a quick show. Confidence is the key. Confidence is the key. Katie Ledecky. Do you know who Katie Ledecky is? Doc and Chef do rock. They do. They are fantastic. Katie Ledecky is the U.S. Olympic swimmer. She's a female. She's absolutely phenomenal. She has the most U.S. Olympic medals by far. I think she blows away Michael Phelps. I don't even think it's close. And that dude rocks. She is an absolute freak. So they have the U.S. Olympic trials coming up because, the Olympics are going to be in Paris, I think, next summer, something like that. And she's already doing Katie Ledecky type things. She does the 1,500 meters, which is a long race. Okay. It's very long. Long. I want you to watch how bad she beats the second place person. This is not, and these aren't just amateurs. Like she didn't just jump in the pool at the local YMCA or YWCA. I don't know. She goes, and this is the Olympic trial. So these are the best of the best. She beats the nearest competitor by 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Jenna, do you have clip 6 ready? So I want everyone to watch this entire clip and see how ridiculous this is. That tape is not doctored. Like we didn't just add scenes of water in there. That's how long, 20 seconds. I was talking to a guy that I know who's a very, very good swimmer. He's like collegiate swimmer. He said that's basically running the 100-meter dash and beating someone by over a second, which is unbelievable. Basically in football, beating someone by like 100 points or runs or whatever they call it. This is ridiculous. I mean, you talk about an athlete. My God, she's got to be possibly the greatest female athlete of all time. I mean, that's got to be argued somewhere. When you're beating people at the Olympic trials by 20 seconds, this is not, like I said, this is not just like she didn't go to the local pool. She's not at the, the homeowners association pool. This is ridiculous. She's a freak. I guarantee she got tested on steroids after that. Moving right along. Climate must have been born in water. Yeah, maybe she's like that dude from, what is it, Waterworld, Kevin Costner, where he's got gills behind his ears. Jen, check if her toes are webbed. I've seen people that are like that. Wonder if her toes are webbed. Maybe that kids are actually like power or something, because there's no way. What? Webbed toes are illegal? That can't be illegal, Jenna. Why would that be illegal? There's no way that is a real thing. You seriously? So if I have webbed toes, she says it's in the Olympics. Well, I know it's an advantage, but it's a disadvantage the rest of your life. No one. I mean, I've got messed up feet and toes too, but I think they're better than webbed. Webbed is kind of freaky. There's got to be something wrong with that. I don't know. I think is it really an advantage? Jenna, you got to send me that or something. I don't know. Oh, she has no idea. That's what she thinks. Jesus, Jenna, I'm going down a path here. Last but not least, we have climate change morons. Oh my God. These climate change morons. So they finally lost their minds. Earlier this week, they went to Stonehenge. You know what a Stonehenge is, that thing out in Europe where there's these big rocks? I don't think there's really any explanation for it. Did aliens put it there? Whatever. Has it been there forever? For some reason, people want to go look at these big rocks. These rocks are like 15 feet high, 6 feet wide. They've been there since the birth of Christ, I guess. I don't know. Or even before dinosaurs put them there with their heads or something. Our brontosaurus kicked the tail over there. I have no idea. But for some reason, people like to go there, and they're basically a national monument. Stonehenge, Jenna, get clip 7 ready. This is what these climate morons decided to do. Go ahead, Jenna, and I can keep talking during this one, I think. So they're running up on this, and they've got some sort of orange fertilizer / paint / fire retardant, and they just start spray painting / blowing this crap on Stonehenge. What? Why? And all they're saying is because they want the UK to end fossil fuels by year 2030. Okay, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And all they're doing over and over and over, yeah, they're bringing attention to themselves, but it's not good attention. It's bad attention. I guarantee there's not one person that looks at that clip and says, you know what, we really should end fossil fuels. That's a damn good idea. I'm glad they used orange paint retardant. Okay, I don't get it. This is just so stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. All you're doing is making people hate you more. And then they decided to go to a golf tournament because, golf produces a lot of fossil fuels. They're driving in cars, they're in airplanes and all that stuff, and they're tearing up the ground. Oh, actually, they're not doing anything. Come to think of it, golf, besides maybe frisbee golf, would be the most naturey sport out there. I'm not even sure what other sport could be more naturey than golf. They're just out there. You're walking or you're driving a little golf cart, which is battery operated. So the climate change people should be happy about that. Sometimes they have gas ones, but usually battery operated. You're soaking up the sun. You're getting some vitamin D, blah, blah, blah. And they decided to make a scene at this golf tournament as well. But now you can see cops are actually starting to get a little bit more pissed. This was in the United States. So I think they're starting to finally get zero tolerance on this one. Jenna, do you have clip 8 ready for me? You can hear the rage. You can see the rage. Fantastic. Arrest them. Throw them under the prison. If they're spraying all that stuff, then you spray that orange stuff up an orifice somewhere. They'll learn. I promise you. Open their eyes and put it in their eyes. Jenna says off with their heads. Jenna's very violent today. Oh, Jenna also said webbed hands, feet absolutely do not meet any of the 8 types of physical impairment laid out in IPC guidelines for participation in Paralympics. I'm not talking about Paralympics, Jenna. I'm talking about the real Olympics. Paralympics is the one with dudes in wheelchairs. We need to find out the official Olympics. So if I have webbed feet, can I go into the Olympics? That's first question. The person would compete in the Olympics if they were selected by their country. Oh, so they're fine. Okay, so Jenna says, yeah. So I think the U.S. swim team should start going after webbed feet people. There's got to be like a registry, a website where you can say, hey, where's all the web footers? Let's get together. Let's get you guys going. Let's start swimming these babies at like 2. And just get them going, get their lung capacity going. I feel like this is an opportunity missed by the Olympic Committee. And next, web footers. Yeah, find out if Katie Ledecky is a web footer. I think she has to be swimming that fast. Golf is one of the easiest, most nature games, and it's just so stupid. And over and over they're doing this. You know what else we're going to do right now? We're going to go to the bottom line. What's the bottom line? The bottom line is all the stuff that you should have learned without even realizing you learned it. Number 1, sometimes you have to fight an uphill battle simply to be heard. Sometimes you have to fight an uphill battle simply to be heard. This has to go with El Trumpo doing the debate on CNN. Is he going to be fighting an uphill battle? 1 billion %. It's going to be on CNN. Joey has been locked away for 7 days. God knows doing what, or taking what, or sniffing what, or snorting what, or getting what. Who knows? And then he's going to have 2 CNN interviewers, debate hosts. So it's going to be very uphill for him. It should be quite interesting. Katie Ledecky does not have web feet. I've just been informed. Wow, that's amazing. Number 2. Being PC should not overtake common sense. This goes back to the German lady. Guys, I understand about being PC. Yes, I understand that I'm not very PC. That's too bad. But it's one of those, being PC should not overtake common sense. You can be PC, but once you see like, okay, she's making fun of a known rapist, she gets out of jail card free. That's just stupid. And number 3, if you want to prove a point, make sure you do it with something of relevance. This goes to the climate change people. If you want to make a point, make sure you do it with something of relevance. If you're going to fight climate change, maybe tell all the rich celebrities and powerful people, hey guys, stop taking private jets. Stop buying 300-foot yachts. Maybe people will follow their lead. If you're going to go to a climate change conference, maybe do it over Zoom instead of flying 87 different jets to one different thing. I don't know. It seems like a little bit of common sense to me, but what do I know? All right, that was a great show. It was quick. What was it, 43:38? That's our fastest show ever, Jenna. I don't know if I was excited or the topics got me going or what. But make sure you understand we will be back next, I think Tuesday, probably Tuesday at 4:30, between 4:30 and 5, depends on what Jenna. I like to fire her up, get her, switch around the time just to piss her off. See, that's what I did, Jenna. I switched to 5, and that got you going right out of the gate. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe on X, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Jenna, I'm out.
Thanks for watching the Rubio Method. Be sure to spread the word, and don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow on YouTube. Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook.